Hey, listen, it was ball. Kevin Durant got ball on that last play. In double overtime, the Phoenix Suns win 140 to 137. A double overtime game. I mean, I'll tell you this: it's not easy when you are playing a Sunday game and it starts at 6:00, and you're like, "Hey, we're gonna get through this thing. We're gonna make this nice and easy. Nice little early start." Nope, Matthew, double overtime win, but the Phoenix Suns win, baby.
Hey, we should start pointing to each other when we first see each other. Hey, what's up? That'll be our new thing.
Hey,
I love basketball, but can I just say I fucking hate overtime. I just hate it. I've never liked it in my lifetime. The anxiety, plus it just sucks. 5 more minutes of basketball. It's kind of cool, but they should switch it up, do something different. I want KD and Marketing to go at it. First 1 to 3, that's game. That's it. I'm sick of watching these extended games, but yeah, thank God the Suns won. I'm excited about that.
That would be amazing. Like if
that
you
would
go
be
to
really fun.
If you go to overtime, yeah, it's just okay. We're just going. We're playing first to 3. I love that. That's a great idea. Maybe it will suggest that to the powers that be. The
Let's
NBA.
Do it, HBO.
Okay, HBO, make this happen, dude. You got the money. Make it
buy
happen.
John's painting and switch up overtime.
Buy the painting behind me. Cool 10 G's, man. I'd appreciate it. Goes towards Suns charities. I am a Suns charity, so help me out. But a good game ultimately because the Phoenix Suns won. It was a hard-fought battle in Utah. Second game in 3 nights in Salt Lake City. The Phoenix Suns do pull it out, and we're above 500. And Eddie Johnson said it on the broadcast. One of the hardest things is to just get over that hump, to get over the 500 hump, and to be to have a winning record. And the Phoenix Suns now have that as they sit 7-6. And Matthew, I believe we call this a winning streak. This is 3 consecutive games the Phoenix Suns have won.
Yeah, it's 3 tough ones, sucky teams. Good thing we play sucky teams, and we got that 3-game win streak. It doesn't matter, man. The Kings, I think, won their 6th in a row tonight. They're starting off terribly this season.
Did they?
With Fox going down with an injury earlier in the season. Now he's back. Yeah, they beat the Mavericks. They're on a 6-game win streak. And, Suns, Kings, it's always a thing. So we're going to streak when they streak. So let's do it together.
Sun Kings, let's go streaking down through the gymnasium, through the quad. It'll be a good time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Suns Jam Session podcast. Whether you're watching along live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram Live, we appreciate it. If you happen to be on the YouTube feed, hit that thumbs up button, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell notification as well. Let you know when we go live, which is after every single Phoenix Suns game. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you for doing so. Make sure that if you are on Apple Podcasts, you stop by, rate us 5 stars, write a little review. We'll read it right here on the podcast. And I do want to give a shout out to Phoenix Fits. They are one of our sponsors, phoenixfits.net. That's FENIXFITS.net. If you happen to stop by there, use the discount code SUNSJAM10. Good for 10% off at the phoenixfits.net apparel store. Some really cool stuff that they do over there. So if you get a chance, stop by there. Matthew, are you drinking a beer with me tonight, my friend?
No, beer's bad for you. I'm done drinking beer. Rest of my life.
Are you going to start drinking like Trulies or something?
So yeah, those
Bourbon.
are good for you.
Are you going to start cracking open bourbons on the pod?
Only if John Bloom buys me a drink, I'll have a drink.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, smash them if you got them, Suns fans. You need it after a game like tonight, eh? Phoenix Suns win. They are now 7-6 on the season. It is a final score of 140 to 137, which brings me to my first question.
Oi, Matty. Mate, I've got to ask.
I've got to ask, when you take a look at a game like this, knowing that the Utah Jazz are without Walker Kessler, who's their primary center and rebounder, should the Suns have been killed on the glass the way that they were in this game?
No, but I think they were just long rebounds. Right? I was kind of prepared for this situation to come up in the pod where we talk about the rebound. And the Suns' rebounding has been good this year. I feel like we've always out-rebounded the competition. Today it was the long ones. The Jazz hot in last game. They were trying to come out and be streaky again in this game, and all of those shots were hitting like the back of the rim. And the Suns were just so close to the basket, they were going over their heads. I think it's as simple as that. There's nothing really there with the rebounding, but the only thing is the paint and the offensive end for whenever they're actually playing defense on the. Oh my God, hold on. Let me just restart that really quick.
Okay, go for
when
it.
the Suns are playing defense, and the opposing team is like going in there at will in the paint, just getting there at will. That's what I'm talking about. That's the part that scares me the most. Those rebounds, though, I'm okay with it. I think they've done a good job this year, right? So far.
For the most part, yeah. You take a look at the Phoenix Suns as a team relative to rebounding. Entering tonight, they have the 12th most total rebounds, and they give up the 4th least. And I think that that's important. They give up about 41 rebounds a game. You look at offensive rebounds, they give up the 18th least. They do give up the most defensive rebounds. So they are pretty good at shoring up that defensive glass for them, the offensive glass for the opposition. But tonight was a different story, obviously. The Utah Jazz completely and utterly had their way on the glass. They end up just eviscerating the Suns. And to your point, yeah, a lot of these are long rebounds, right? Because they're taking some deep shots, they're going to get obviously long rebounds. But I do feel, and you could definitely see it in that first overtime, there was a lack of give a fuck kind of on the boards. Ultimately, they give up a total of 59 rebounds, and 27 of those are of the offensive variety. And I get that you're going to have some residual rebounding off of long shots like we saw tonight, but 27 rebounds is a lot to give up. And I don't think it's due to lack of size. I think it purely and utterly, at least tonight, it was a lack of overall effort. It was a lack of, like I said, give a fuck. You look at it, second chance points through the first overtime. They haven't posted the final stats, but 27 second chance points. I mean, the Suns could walk away with this one, but ultimately they walk away winning 2 games in Utah by a total of 6 points each.
Yeah, no, I'll go with Metal Mike on this. Unless he won't drink, but he's high as hell. I'm not high as hell, but this game did kind of bother me because I have a pre-roll ready to go tonight, Sunday night, just smoke a little bit, go to bed. And it just, this overtime thing made me a little frustrated. Now I only have like a half hour to get high and go to sleep before my mom is like, it's late, buddy. You got to go to sleep. I was thinking that the turnovers is just the biggest issue right now with the Suns. The rebounding did suck, but you kind of go by your leaders, the way that the Kevin Durant, Devin Bookers of this team are leading this team and how their body language looked tonight. Devin Booker, I don't know if he's just really trying to catch his wind still. That's always a thing, right? He's trying to catch his wind. He's not able to really go off and help us like extend those leads. But right now, he just kind of looked like, lackadaisical a little bit. When he came back in the game with 5 minutes left, he was whistling along to the song. He kind of just figured out we're going to win this game no matter. I don't think he knew it was going to go to 2 overtimes.
Yeah.
But his kind of just body language is kind of weird. KD turned the ball over so much in the first half. He had 7 tonight. When those guys are doing that, then I kind of think it just falls on the rest of the team. And I want to say, like, when they're turning those balls over and they're just making the worst plays, the worst passes, how come they never get yelled at? Is it because they are just the leaders? You can't yell at KD? Because anytime everyone else fucks up, KD's always all over them. And now when he's turned the ball over, no one ever holds him responsible but himself. So I guess it's just because it's KD, right? That's the only reason. I yell at him, but he can't hear me.
Yeah, they're yelling. You can't yell at each other, right? Like Kevin Durant can't yell at himself. So that's probably why he's not doing that. But that being said, looking at the turnovers, looking at the rebounding issues, looking at all these different things that the Phoenix Suns had to navigate tonight, it ultimately, I mean, it was what, like 18 to 19 relative to rebounds. I think that's what it came out to, right? Was it 18, 19? So the Suns did have some untimely turnovers, but so did the Utah Jazz. Points off of turnovers were pretty similar, 16. Yeah, like you said, they can't yell at each other, but there was a lot of boneheadedness in this one. I mean, and that's what results to a team like the Utah Jazz, a team that you are more talented than, winning the battles on the boards, winning the turnover battle, And a lot of that is self-inflicted type of wounds and self-inflicted just basketball and lazy basketball at times, where Jordan Clarkson had that one steal breakaway when I believe it was Eric Gordon or I think it was Grayson Allen was throwing the ball to Jerkic. They telegraph things sometimes, and they've got to shore that up because thankfully they won this game. There's not a lot of worlds in which you get out rebounded by 15, out rebounded on the offensive glass by 16, get outshot by 13 total field goal attempts. The Utah Jazz attempted 115 field goals tonight. The Suns had 102. There's not a lot of worlds where you survive that. You look back to the 2 games prior to this, what was successful for the Suns? Not necessarily their defense, but their ball security. 9 turnovers in each of the last 2 games. Just not good. There's not good basketball tonight.
It's not. And there's one thing too. We'll talk about Booker, I'm sure, but I just think the inconsistency with the lineups really in the first quarter kind of throw things off. I feel like they get so hot at times and then they switch guys out and then they start turning the ball over a little bit more. I don't know if that plays a big factor, but like even they're always winning the assist battle too. Even tonight, 36-27. And they're always leading the boards. It's always the turnovers, dude. And Eddie Johnson said, and we always know this, don't blame the fourth quarter and how it's close and like, the miscues there. It's everything else before that to put yourself in the situation, right? The turnovers are just, they're so ridiculous. It's like going on a hot date, and then you just tell them like, oh, I have herpes. It's like, why do you have to tell them you have herpes? Just enjoy the date. You know what I mean? You don't tell them right away.
Not on the first date, like unless you're unless you're a smooth mover and like you get to that point where you have to tell them you have said herpes.
Yeah,
just enjoy the evening. No, I get you.
And then the fourth quarter is basically just the hard time of putting on a condom. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I feel really weird. I think it's a concussion from my accident 2 weeks ago.
You're just
really
now
settling in. Yeah, it's just not hitting me tonight. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Maybe you should start drinking, Matthew. It'll take a little bit of
should.
red.
The Jamsters love the drinking Lissy, the little little drunk Lissy. I can't have that.
Everybody loves Buzz Lissy. It's just a good time for everybody.
Yeah.
Another issue that the Phoenix Suns had in this game was closing quarters, especially in the first half. So Kevin Durant goes out with about, I think, 3 or 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Jazz go on an 11-3 run, tied 30-30 after the first. Suns let the Jazz go on a 6-0 run to end the second quarter, and they were up 11, 61-50. It ends up being 61-56. They did end the third on a 10-5 run. But this is kind of a continual issue with Phoenix where they're having a hard time closing out quarters, where the focus, and again, it's like focus and give a fuck. That's where there's been issues with the Suns. It's almost like they feel like they're better than the opposition at times, so they can take that foot off the gas pedal. And we've seen it bite the team over and over again, right?
Yeah, we have. And I was actually thinking too, are we kind of spoiled from that 64-game win season where everything was just like a well-oiled machine and everything was just always planned perfectly with this team? You know what I mean? Like every game was just almost a blow up. A crunch time would come around, crunch time, and basically, the Suns had it. I think the whole miscues thing and then the injuries and all that, they kind of amount to the fact that you can't be consistent throughout the whole game. But I don't know. Winning these type of games, like you kind of should be happy. I guess it's early in the season when you're trying to figure it out. But I think we're just kind of spoiled from that season. And I think that we just kind of expect more from these players already. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But obviously, I think this team, the way it is right now, they're not good. They're not good. We're lucky we're playing and these shitty teams get these wins. They're not elite like we thought they would be. And I think that's the thing in the back of our mind. So it's like when they're going through these troubles, you're like, oh, well, I expect more, right? But I just look at it as like they fucking suck. But obviously they have to work through these issues. So what was your question? I'm sorry, dude.
Closing quarters.
Yeah, it sucks. Inconsistency. No, I was.
It's like Matthew. Like Matthew
so soon with that your thought, where I was like researching something, and then I was thinking of that when you actually stopped speaking. I'm like, oh, I gotta speak. So that was my thing.
Well, shout out to Biscuits in the Bear, $3. For those of you who don't know, Biscuits in the Bear hangs out at the end of every game, and if we win, they will donate the amount of our point total to win. We won by $3. Says all ball. So thank you, biscuits in the bear. And I like what John Tran says as well. Says we need a give a fuck guy. Like we have some fuck shit up guys, which I'm going to get to later. I got a whole segment on fuck shit up guys.
We have a give a fuck guy.
But we need a give a fuck guy.
We do.
Who's the give a fuck guy? Man?
Nurk always gives a fuck. That's why I love him so much, man.
Well, then let's rock some Nurk.
Nurkic Watch.
Nurk gives a fuck. He's that guy. Nurkic in this game, 35 minutes played. He had 18 points and 12 rebounds, which is the exact averages of DeAndre Ayton last year. He had 2 blocks. He had 1 steal. He had 2 assists. He was 7 of 11 from the field. He didn't shoot any threes, which was nice. And he only had 2 turnovers, Matthew. Talk about Nurk giving a fuck.
I love it when he lays it in. And the first thing I was thinking about was like when DA would do that, we get so mad. Why wouldn't he dunk the fucking ball? You know, I wanted to tweet that too. I was like, I wish Nurk would just dunk the ball.
Because Nurkic can't. He physically can't.
He physically can't. And if he did, he might come down and be hurt. He might break those legs again. I feel bad. You know, we put a lot on him because of his inability to really get over the rim. You know, it's an issue. But tonight, I just think it shows how much he does give a fuck. The way he just looks out there on the court. They all sweat, but this guy sweats differently. His face is red. Booker's face turns red, but this guy's whole head was red. Like he just cared so much tonight to get that win. I don't know. I love the amount of enthusiasm he has on the offensive end, no matter the situation. If he's out rebounded or if he, you know, he knows the guy's a little bit more athletic than him, he still tries every play. I don't know if you did see the DeAndre Ayton video of him setting those screens. I'm pretty sure you saw those.
I posted it,
but it's just the fact that Nurkic. Did you post it?
I posted that one, and then the one where like he didn't go for a pass and ended up being a turnover and a dunk for the Lakers. Just typical Ayton not giving a shit stuff.
But I mean, this is different. I think Nurk, he gives a fuck. But the reason I'm saying it's because he's so limited, but he puts himself in such great situations down there. He's kind of like has a little bit of the Okogie-ness in him where he'll make really good plays by like tipping it back out for the offensive rebound or just giving his team another chance under there. So tonight, like his stat line looks as good as it's ever going to look, right? He might throw up the 10 assists every now and then, but I feel like he just wants everything to be so perfect. And I spoke about yelling at each other earlier. I don't think he got yelled at once today by KD. The only time KD yelled at him, I think, was when it was double OT or maybe the first overtime when KD hit a big 3 like he did this whole game. And like Nurk was running by him. He yelled something at him right when he was running by his head. I think he was just like, let's fucking end this game or something. Like they have that kind of passion. That's why he fits in so well, dude.
A positive being yelled at. That's a nice.
Yeah, that's good,
a nice
isn't
change
it?
of pace. Yeah, I mean, we talk about give a fuck, and obviously I'm being facetious. A lot of balls just didn't go the way of the Suns tonight. The Jazz knew that if they out-hustled the Suns on the boards, it would give them a chance, and it did give them a chance. Ultimately, they didn't win. But Nurkic, you know, again, those 12 rebounds, he had 4 offensive rebounds himself. And 18 and 12, I mean, that's a great game by Nurk, and it solidifies the fact that he should be the starting center. Because those conversations are starting to have. I know that you've said it a little bit here and there. It's like, I'd like more minutes for Eubanks. I was on with the Aussie Suns fan podcast last night, and we were having that same kind of conversation about Nurkic versus Eubanks. Is Eubanks starting to play himself into like the starting role? And the answer is no. Eubanks is playing above his price for value paid right now. He's a veteran minimum guy. Nurkic is playing right where he should as a $16 million a year center. He's giving you good games. He's giving you bad games. And that's how centers typically operate in the NBA. They're not all Joel Embiid. They're not all Nikola Jokic. A lot of them are like a Jusuf Nurkic or a Nikola Vucevic or a Jonas Valanciunas. They're big. They're clunky. They can be slow. They can be pigeons on defenses at time, and they can get played off the court at times. But it doesn't negate his effectiveness and his willingness to try. The thing that I've appreciated about him is he does seem always engaged. And that's what you're looking for from Nurkic. It's like from a physical standpoint, his physical capabilities are limited. And that's just what you have to accept. It's attitude and effort that we give a shit about here in Phoenix because we've been void of that for the past 5 seasons. So if you have some give a fuck or some give a shit or whatever let's say it like normal people. So if you care, then we appreciate you. And Jusuf cares, and he had a solid game tonight. And I was really appreciative, especially in the fourth quarter. He played fantastic in the fourth quarter. The Suns deployed some different strategies, and they're like, okay, Nurkic can be the guy who we can kind of go to for a while, take some pressure off of Devin Booker, who wasn't having the best game, take some pressure off of Kevin Durant, and Nurkic goes 4 of 6 for 8 points in the fourth quarter with 4 rebounds. He goes for 8 and 4 in the fourth. That's a great quarter by Yusuf Nurkic in a vital quarter for the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, and the whole like he cares. It does worry me sometimes because sometimes he has like those after the game interviews, and he'll voice his opinion so strongly about what's going on, and I'm always worried. Like I don't want him to be upset this early in the season. You know what I mean? Like things aren't working out, so I worry about that. And the fact that he cares, it just shows me like, hey, he does care about this team, and he does want to win. And like you said, it's just having a center that does that just means so much to us. And like they got him involved late in the game too. Like he makes himself available. Like he's not always the first option for like the third or fourth pass down there, but if he can get open, we know it takes him a while to get that lay in. He'll get the ball. It's nice that he can like set some screens and still run the pick and roll. And the only thing is, these guys need to cut more, man. When he has the ball, they need to start flying towards.
He will reward them.
Yes, he's waiting for that. So I want to see more of that.
We should see more of him integrated into the offense, depending on the matchup. And I think I agree. Like if you have him out there with Nasir Little, he'd be the perfect cut guy because he can finish around the rim. Michael Kolb, one of our elite jamsters. Again, thank you to all the elite jamsters for supporting the show in that capacity. Says I disagree on Nurkic. Most of the rebounds fell into his hands, and half the time his back was to the basket. And I don't disagree with that. Nurkic isn't an athletic rebounder. He's not going to go up and just snatch the board. Like, remember when DeAndre Ayton, every now and then, like once every 4 games, he would go get one aggressive rebound, right? Ooh, oh, yeah. Damn. Like that, you're not going to get that from Nurkic. He's going to, but when the ball comes to him, he grabs it. And I think that's very important for the Phoenix Suns and very important for the success of the team from a rebounding standpoint. Looking at Devin Booker in this game. Big Dick Booker. This wasn't the greatest Devin Booker performance. Ends with 26 points, ends with 8 assists, does have 3 turnovers, 2 more, I'm sorry, than he had just 2 nights ago against the Utah Jazz. But 8 of 21 from the field and 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. And it was kind of a tale of, it was like a 3-act play. Right? Like the majority of stories are written in 3 acts, right? Like you got the first act, and then the second act, and then the third act, and that's why they're called 3 acts.
Is that really a thing? I didn't know.
That's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's like getting to, the first act is where you get to know the characters. The second act is where they navigate the problem. The third act is where the resolution ultimately occurs. And there's titles for it, and I just call it first act, second act, third act. The first act in the first half was Devin Booker trying to get his teammates involved. Ends up just going 2 of 6 from the field, has 4 points at the half, has 5 assists, a couple fouls, a couple rebounds. In the second half, he really starts to ratchet it up and goes, you know what? I'm going to be the guy who's going to score more. He goes 6 of 11 in the second half and scores 20 points, 6 of those coming from the free throw line. Only has 1 assist in that second half. And then obviously the third act is the fact that this team had to play 2 overtimes, and he was, deferring once again. Both overtimes combined, Devin Booker, let's see, first overtime, he was 2 of 6 from the field. Nope, that's not right. First overtime, 0 of 2 from the field. That sounds right. Then he was 0 of 2 from the field in the second overtime. So he goes 0 of 4 in overtime. So again, dishing, trying to get Kevin Durant involved. Kevin Durant is the scoring alpha on this team right now, and Devin Booker knows it, Matthew.
Yeah, dude.
Regular Dick Booker.
I was clicking on it too. I was just gonna say, hey, John Doe, yeah, regular Dick Booker. He's back, right? He makes an appearance once in a while.
Average sized penis Booker.
I swear this is average. I think the game winner at the end of the fourth.
Why do people watch this?
Tonight's a weird night. We're not doing a very good job.
I think we're doing fantastic. We're having a blast.
Yeah,
we got 200 people watching. We're having a good old time.
Yeah, I guess we are, right? Come out and take a bow, Devin Booker. In the fourth quarter, I thought you were going to end it with the 4 quarters, but you went into the overtime with the third act, so this kind of doesn't make any sense now. So I'm like, if you were going to end it and come out and take a bow, it was when Kevin Durant gave him the opportunity to get the game winner. I think when that happened, you're kind of like, maybe KD, you should shoot it. Like, you're a little bit more streakier right now, especially heading into the overtimes after the fourth quarter. He was nailing about everything. Booker settled for a really bad shot, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind him taking
Yeah.
the shot, obviously, but he had, like EJ said, another step. I thought he was going to
Yeah.
go in and get a better look.
Yes.
Something is off with Booker. I don't know if it's him not getting his wind yet, like I mentioned earlier, but tonight he just wasn't. He was like non-existent sometimes. And the corner three, like somebody mentioned, missing that one was just. I didn't really trust him to make it either. Like, it was just a weird situation. They left him wide open.
I wanted that shot though. I wanted.
Oh
that
yeah,
shot.
definitely. I definitely wanted it. I just was like, I don't feel like he's gonna make it. Like, there's just something off. I thought last game there was an injury to his forearm. When he went up for that dunk and got blocked, he came down, I feel like, really hard on his arm or something. So
Mhm.
ever since then, he hasn't shot the ball well. Going into that, he was killing this team last game in the first half. So he just looks different offensively. Not passing because they're gonna make him try to like beat them, and he couldn't do it. KD, luckily tonight, just hit some really big shots.
Yeah, a lot of the Jamsters are saying in the chat, and I believe it. It's he is playing injured. I think
Sucks.
it does, and obviously he's coming back because he knows this team needs him, and he's just a competitor in every sense of the word. And he wants to do anything he can to help this team, knowing that Bradley Beal's out for the next 3 weeks. When Bradley Beal was kind of living on the day-to-day, Booker was like, listen, I'm just going to continue to monitor this calf strain and do what I can to get healthy because both you guys are out there. But then Bradley Beal's like, dude, I can't. And Bradley Beal shouldn't be even on the bench right now. Like, sitting down, just like go lay somewhere, Bradley Beal, for 3 weeks, just lay.
Yeah, ask Steve Nash maybe what happened, or
Yeah.
remember when Nash used to like just lay down the whole
Yeah.
time?
Yeah. He should be doing that like the whole time, but
Yeah.
he's a competitor and he's embracing the point guard role, especially in that first half, as I noted. He's doing no look passes, but unfortunately, as he's trying to become that playmaker that this team needs, you can see him thinking a bit, and he's passing up on his shots in an effort to incorporate his teammates, which isn't a horrible thing. I mean, that's what the regular season's for, is for him to try to figure out how to be the best version of him, how to know when and where to be an ideal playmaker or to be an ideal scoring guard, and to obtain that balance. The whole regular season is just a ramp up for the postseason for this team, and he's trying to learn how to do it. And we're seeing it in real time. His passiveness took him out of his rhythm at times, especially in that fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, Frank Vogel was very astute, in my opinion, and started to play some small ball five. So yeah, we're gonna spruce Matthew up a little bit, and we're gonna make him dance.
Oh no!
Yeah. Vogel was very astute in this game. For those of you listening, Matthew did not dance once.
I didn't, because I kind of committed to not dancing, and I'm like, I'm kind of mad I did that. I apologize to everybody out there waiting for that all night.
Everyone who's watching this was dancing. I know that you're in your living room somewhere, probably watching this on the toilet, and just while you're cranking out a turd, you're dancing.
You should say it's cringe time, dude. When we do that stuff.
But early in the game, 7-2 run to start the game by the Utah Jazz. Boom. Timeout by Vogel. I love that. I know that you're the timeout guy, but I loved it because the Suns responded with a 22-6 run. He settled them down. In that first overtime, Vogel said, you know what? We're not playing Nurkic at all. We're Nurkic kicking on the bench because we're going to run everything in small ball fashion to Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant, they just run isolation on the left wing, and then over and over and over, they just did some Durant out of the post with some 4-out spacing, and they were playing out of that advantage with the Jazz scrambling in rotation time and again. And Eric Gordon benefited from that. So he's starting to pull these levers. We noticed it in the last game, right? Where we said at the last game, his starting five has been productive. The starting five that he rolled with tonight is once again one. So they're 3-0. He put in some defensive lineups, bridging the third to the fourth in the last game. And now we're seeing him utilizing some small ball wrinkles as a part of this offense. This team's going to continue to grow and mesh together because of these decisions that he's making. And it's nice to see adjustments being made. I forgot that those existed.
Yeah, he's sprinkling a little different stuff in there every now and then. I love how when he gave KD the opportunity, like you said, playing on the left side and just everyone else on the other side. And once he gets doubled, right? So they leave it up to KD like most of the game. I think Utah was just making KD and Booker beat them. And KD would make the right pass. And it was up to those other guys to hit big shots or cut or make the right play after they received the pass in the lane or on the other side on the baseline. So they did that. They helped KD out. And I know it went to another overtime after that. And they probably should have ended it then because I felt like those plays were like, wait, why is Utah letting them do this? Because I feel like these are good opportunities for Eric Gordon and even Grayson Allen to hit those threes. And, but the Suns couldn't really hit them every time, but they were good looks. The timeout in the beginning of the game, I just want to go over. That was awesome. I really loved that because the Suns.
I figured you'd love that.
In the first 6 minutes, they had 21 points, but in the first 2 minutes of the game, they had like two points, and then they had like 7 assists right after that. The ball was moving so well, and then that's when Booker came out with like 7 minutes left in the first or 6 minutes left in the first. Then everything kind of switched, momentum switched again. But yeah, I love what Frank's doing right now. And I think it's really helps, and it kind of sucks. Maybe it doesn't suck. I just say that because, we're all big fans of him, that Utah did miss tonight's game. So Little could make a bigger appearance tonight. But even last game, you saw a little bit of him. Now today's game played a lot of minutes and was really impactful, I thought.
Yeah, big time. Absolutely big time. You want to Nasty Nas it a little bit?
Yes.
Let's give it up to Nasty Nas. Scroll. Boom.
Nas. Nasty Nas, want to square dance with me?
One of the byproducts of the contusion that Yuta Watanabe was out with was the fact that Nasir Little's the one who got his minutes tonight. And he capitalized. He played 20 minutes tonight. He had 10 points. He had a couple assists, had 3 rebounds, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Big threes, in my opinion. And 3 blocks as well. He's showing us that he can play both sides of the ball effectively. And that's the challenge that we're having with Yuta Watanabe right now, is while he is a sniper from beyond the arc, he's lost on defense. He's like a little kid playing soccer where it's just they're running around with no direction on defense and doesn't know really what to go, where to go, and just has their hands up the whole time. And I loved what I saw from him. He was part of those first substitutions. He started with a 3-pointer followed by a boom room jam per K-Ray. Is Nasir Little this year's Josh Okogie, like the effective energy guy off the bench?
Yeah, he has that, but I think he took Utah's spot. He definitely did. I think tonight you can see why, right? Defensively, when he helps on rotations, he actually has size and athleticism to stay in front of the guy and make a little bit difference, to tour the shot as much as he can. Defensively, it's not there exactly like what maybe we expected, but I think offensively is what you're looking for from him, where he can actually dunk like he did earlier on the steal, just proving a point there, but hitting a big shot and just taking the 3, knowing like he has the confidence. He's like, I'm going to take this his first stint off the bench. He just hits a 3 with someone right in front of him. He's like, I'm going to do this, but you trust him more and more. It's nice. It's kind of like KBD, where you're just like, we trust him more and more on the floor. I even trust his corner 3s. Now with Nas, he's going to earn that from us. And I think that he's definitely going to get more minutes. Even when Yuta comes back, I think he kind of just took a spot, because I wanted either Nas or I wanted Metu to just fill that role and just see what happens, because you have more athleticism and some guys that can actually, they're longer and they can make a difference defensively. I'm not saying our defense got any better with Nas, but just saying like he is a little bit better, and offensively he's just a little bit more confident, because you can even see in Utah where he just kind of lacked a little confidence. Last game he was a little bit better, but the games before that, his shot, it just wasn't there. So I like seeing him.
And not just his shot, like he would be open for a 3, and rather than shoot it, he'd pump fake, let the defender close on him, and then he'd drive. And you're like, Yuta, that's not what it's like Damian Lee last year. Like, dude, Damian Lee, you're in the game to shoot the 3 ball. Stop doing this pump fake shit, driving to the key, and then realizing that you don't have the ability to finish around the cylinder, so you're trying to pass out and you're turning the ball over. And Yuta's been doing that a little bit. So, again, as Eddie Johnson mentioned, a lot of players who haven't been playing minutes got together at the arena yesterday on their off day and played, and Yuta Watanabe took a knee in the thigh. And so it's just cramping up a little bit. and he missed this game. And I think it was smart. And again, if you're going to get those minutes, you have to capitalize. And I feel like Nasir Little, for the most part, every opportunity he's had thus far this year, he has capitalized and he has contributed. We don't need him to be it'd be nice if he was the guy who come in and just, and he scored 18 points off the bench, but that's not his role. It's just to eat some minutes, to be effective on both ends of the floor, to bring the hustle, to bring the grit, to bring the grind. And to answer my own question, is he this year's Josh Okogie? Is he the effective energy guy off the bench? Maybe. We'll see. Time will tell. But he has the skill set and the athleticism to do so. He has the ability to play outside of his size and be effective and shoot. So who knows? Time will tell. But I like what we're seeing so far from him.
Yeah, but those big rebounds he had in the fourth, really, to even give KD that second chance opportunity.
Yes.
Data three, like those are huge, but those are plays that Yuta can't make. So those are the Okogie plays you're talking about. So I can see it.
Hi, Barbie.
Oh, hi, Alan.
Oh, Grayson Allen, our fuck shit up guy.
Grayson Allen tonight went for a total of 14 points. You like that?
Yeah, spice it up a little bit. You should keep adding more and more scenes of anything Allen and just make it like a 20-minute intro for Grayson Allen. Just
shout out to John Bloom. John Bloom mentioned something about Allen from Barbie. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw that in the drop. So there you go, Bloom. I gave you your props on that. But 14 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 block, couple turnovers, but a huge 3 in the second overtime. Ultimately, the one that sealed the deal. Devin Booker passes to him. He's got off to his left, a wide open Kevin Durant who's been cooking all night, and he takes the shot himself and he hits it. That's fucking shit up, in my opinion, Matthew.
Yeah, that's why he's still in the starting lineup too. Defensively, I don't know, but offensively, he can just hit those big shots because he's not scared of it. But 43 minutes tonight, of course, it's the 2 overtimes. But I love the fact that he can start the game and just know, like, I'm going to be playing a lot of minutes and I can hit big shots next to Eric Gordon. I know defensively doesn't look as good, but offensively, he takes advantage. And I think he can like really kind of dissect the defense at times and help this team out. But tonight, it just, that shot, dude, I just feel like all these guys kind of came through with like big shots, each of them. Like,
yes,
except for Booker. Fuck Booker. Do a good job. I like how that's my new thing. I get mad at the camera like this, like the mom on That 70s Show.
Jackass.
All of them like hit big shots tonight. So he fell right in line with his big 3.
Yeah, I agree. And he's somebody who's thriving in the system. He's the guy who's benefiting from Bradley Beal being out. It's both him and Eric Gordon are both doing that. And Eric Gordon, you take a look at him tonight and he goes for 20 points. He goes 5 of 12 from beyond the arc, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Would have been nice if he had 7 rebounds and just avoided the whole second overtime thing. Missed a free throw at the end of the first overtime. Yeah. But they're both stepping into the role, and that's why I like what the Suns are doing with their starting 5 is you're putting guys who are bona fide shooters. Bona fide. Both he and Eric Gordon are bona fide shooters, and they're not afraid of the moment. They're willing to hit down those shots, and they're taking pressure off of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in those big minutes. And that is what's been important for the Suns during this winning streak.
So when we get Bradley Beal back in 2 years when he plays, do you want him? Who do you want to replace him in those situations? Is it Eric Gordon that still stays out there, or who is he going to replace? My bad, him, Eric Gordon, or Grayson Allen?
I think KBD goes into the starting lineup with Beal alongside them.
Okay.
I think that both those guys continue what they're doing, but they do so from a bench capacity.
Oh, I mean, like crunch time. Crunch time, it's going to be Eric Gordon, right? Out there with Beal?
Crunch time will be Eric Gordon. I agree with that. Another guy who looked very well again tonight, Kevin Durant. I was almost going to do Kevin Durant, but I'll go K to Bates-Diop first.
You're down with KBD.
Yeah, you know me.
You're down with KBD.
Yeah, you know me.
Who's down with KBD?
Every last lady.
All right, there you go, everybody. I'm starting to put in Suns highlights on the drops.
Love it. No more of the Aussie Suns fans, pool kiss, whatever they're called over there, yelling at you.
Getting mad at me because they're like, hey, that's a highlight from him 8 years ago in San Antonio. Now, KBD, aggressive early in offensive sets, blocks, deflections, Love what I saw from Keita Bates-Diop. And I got to ask you this, Matthew. Is he a fuck shit up guy?
He's close. He's close to it. I think he's close to being a really good defender too. You named a few things he did out there, but also like you can name a few things. It's like, he's so close to just like really getting into somebody, really just grabbing the steal or just getting the tip ball. Like he's so close on certain plays. Like I feel like he's almost getting there. But he's more comfortable out there, right? Like I think like even being a starter, like you said, when Beal comes back, it'll be him and KBD. I definitely can see that. But I don't see him as a fuck shit up guy. He just has like that smile, right? Grayson Allen's perfect because he doesn't have a mouth. And he doesn't have a mouth, so he can't react to anything. He just has a KBD is just like always has a smile on him. A little too nice looking guy to be a fuck shit up guy, I think. But I love the guy. I think he's been playing really great.
So I was wondering, like, should we make an FSUG fraternity, like the fuck shit up guy fraternity?
Yeah, but
like,
how many can you have? Oh, just like going through the years?
No, just like this year. Like, who's part of the fuck shit up guy fraternity this season? Like, Grayson Allen is like the president of it. You know, he's the one who's hazing all the new guys trying to get into the frat. I think Okogie's definitely in there. I think Jordan Goodwin's in there. And I think KBD like wants to join the frat, but he just doesn't know yet. I'm going to make a fuck shit up guy fraternity shirt. That's going to be my next thing.
Yeah, I think I could just see Allen there right now, just based
not
off
Okogie, huh?
No, I could see Okogie there. I think tonight had a really good game. But it's something where it's like Allen's been this way the whole game, the whole season, right? You thought Okogie and Goodwin would be those guys. They have been sporadically, but it's just nothing to where they can be in fraternity yet, right? They still got to get hazed a little bit, go out there, pull their pants down, and have them play basketball that way for a little bit or something.
They got to run around with like concrete bricks tied to their dinghies.
Yeah, there you go.
If you can make a 3-pointer with a cinder block tied to your wang, like you're part of the fuck shit up guy fraternity. Yeah. Meanwhile, like Grayson Allen just does it all day long, just stroking it. I don't know. It's a thought. I think that all those guys are candidates because KBD does have, as we both mentioned, he has some disruptiveness to his game. He has the ability to deflect. He has the ability to get into passing lanes, and that's ultimately a guy who fucks shit up for you. Yeah, there's a little bit of attitude that goes with that as well. Mm-hmm. But as long as you are contributing in that manner and filling the role of just being a guy who's out there to just fuck with the opposition, make them uncomfortable, make them second guess themselves, make them second guess their passing and their shooting, shot to turns, those little things like that. That's what gets you into the frat. That and obviously tying a cinder block to your cock.
Who the heck are you? I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
Did anybody see a sniper? Did anybody see anything?
I'm one of the best players to ever play the game.
Right, Kevin Wayne Durant in this game. Total of 46 minutes played, Matthew. 14 of 27 from the field, including 4 of 9 from beyond the arc. He scores 39 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 7 turnovers. But Kevin Durant tonight, once again, fantastic. The ultimate run killer. When the opposition's on a run, just put the ball in Kevin Durant's hands. He's going to hit a basket and just deflate a crowd. And I think that's something that is just again and again and again something that is valuable to this team. And it just makes everybody else's life so much easier. Yeah, Kevin Durant, man.
Yeah, Stephanie Jackson does say KD is going to be the season MVP. Get us to win the West Finals. The KD thing being MVP is a weird thing, I think, because the losses he has without Booker, you know what I mean? Like that just kind of hurts him a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the fact that like he is that run killer now with the Suns, but he has those turnovers. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? But then he just forget about it because of how awesome he is and he can win you a game. But it's like those turnovers that put you in these situations. Like, they're just so fucking dumb. I'm sorry. Like, I love KD, but some of his passes, dude, in this game were just really atrocious. And they're just like last minute. You could tell as soon as he released, he's like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have done that, right? But he just makes up for it. But he got us kind of in the situation with those turnovers. I'm not going to lie, dude. I told myself, I'm like, you know what? Even if the Suns win, I'm going to give in to KD a little bit, dude. That way, when we see him at the game, he's like, are you Matthew Lucy? Talking about my fucking turnovers? He gets me in the head. Like, oh, dude, it smells so good. So, yeah. I don't know. So, anyways, I don't know. Katie's
No,
amazing. Yeah, he's
the
our MVP.
turnovers, the turnovers are frustrating, and it's something where just overall when I look at his game, I'm running out of superlatives to describe it. Okay, but I came up with 3 new ones to describe his game. Fastidious, which means accurate with every detail. Seraphic, which is angelic, and sagacity, which means good judgment. But like the turnovers don't showcase great sagacity or fastidiousness, right? He wasn't accurate, not good, not great judgment consistently. But he makes up for it in so many other ways. And those 7 turnovers that he had, it was an early game situation. You look at him in the second half, he only had a couple turnovers. It was 5 turnovers early that let the Utah Jazz kind of hang around and be in the game. But ultimately, it's 12 consecutive games with 25-plus points, the most ever in Phoenix Suns history. The small ball 5 in OT, which I absolutely loved. And you take a look at the fact that to this point of the season, he's averaging 31.4 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and he's a true shooting percentage of 64.7. So here's a fun fact for you. Do we still have that fucking trivia time thing in here? I do have it.
You know what time it is.
Trivia time.
Kevin Durant trivia time. Okay, if you're hanging out in the chat and you're live, you can play along as well. Don't Google things though; that doesn't make it fun. How many seasons has Kevin Durant averaged more than the points per game he's averaging right now? He's averaging 31.4 points per game. How many seasons in his career has he averaged more than 31.4 points per game?
10.
So you got 10. I see David Ray says 7. Jacob says 1. Gnarly old goat dude says 3. Jack M says 6. Dagoon says 12. John Tran says 6. El Sol says 3. Oil Woe says 4. The right answer is what Jacob said. It's 1. 2013/14.
Wow.
With the Oklahoma City Thunder, he averaged 32 points a game. That's the most he's ever averaged in his career. At age 35, he's averaging 31.4. Now, granted, it's 13 games into the season. 12, 13. But still, that's a pretty impressive for a 35-year-old to go out there. And with that true shooting percentage. So I get it. We're frustrated with the turnovers. And this game would be a lot a bigger blowout, and we wouldn't go to 2 overtimes, and he wouldn't have to play all those minutes if he didn't contribute to those turnovers. But man, he makes up for it on the offensive end.
He does, and I don't think the turnovers have to do with like the new players and the adjustments in this game. I didn't think that. I thought
they were just bad.
They were lazy, badass passes, like not badass, like right
badass
with a big mamacita on you, but not that badass. They were just bad at like ass, dude. And I think the way that KD kind of responds to it, right, and just takes us to the victory, and then of course, right. But the MVP thing, it might be a thing. I don't know right now, just because of Booker being out. And then him not being able to pull off any kind of wins, but his production's insane. And I don't think you can win it with a guy like Booker. I think Booker has a better opportunity to win it with a guy like KD, maybe. But I don't know. It's just, I think they're kind of just both fucked. And we're gonna do this at the end of the year. We're gonna talk about the MVP thing, but honestly, just don't care.
I don't either. It's a nice conversation to have.
Yeah.
It's a nice conversation to have, but at the same time, like I just want to win games. Like,
okay,
I just, as long as the Suns are winning games, like, yeah, it's fun to sit there and be like, yeah, we've got 2 potential MVP candidates. One is a great playmaker who can score, and the other one is just fucking Kevin Durant. You know who he is. He's one of the greatest players of all time. You were hanging out in Utah tonight, right? I mean, because I was hanging out in Utah on Friday, and then you took the flight up there to check out their subreddit stakeout. So this should be interesting.
The Suns Jam Session subreddit stakeout.
Whoa.
Yeah, the King's always here because the glasses are here. That's why I'm lazy. I don't get my other glasses. I always forget. So I'm just the king every night. So I'll just be a thing being the king. Listen here, little lady. How old are you? Are you too young? All right. Let me see. So what they said was
I'm gonna marry you then.
Maybe it's not a good thing to be the king. Well, Batman.
You're on the shitter.
What's up? The diet on the shitter? Yeah,
Yeah,
supposedly. Now
you're
that
gonna-
I'm in the conspiracies, who knows if that's even true? Letting Nazir Little go coast to coast is certainly a choice, right? Nazir had such a good start to this game.
That's a funny way to put it. It's a choice.
It's a choice, yeah.
He's athletic, dude. Like, give it to him. Give it
I
up for
swear.
him.
Yeah, no. I've seen this one a few times in the chat. Kevin fucking Durant. Yep. We say it all the time. Ridiculous officiating. Officiating both sides tonight was
Yeah.
fucking garbage. Like there were things the Suns got away with and things Utah got away with. I had no idea what was going on. It was hard to avoid all game. I hate these kind of games. And it goes to 2 overtimes and you still
Yeah.
deal with it. Oh,
And
it's
ultimately,
painful.
Suns fans, the Suns were 22 of 26 from the line. The Utah Jazz were 26 of 32. So, I mean, it just goes to show you there was a lot of whistles being blown on both accounts, and you can't sit there and really be overly frustrated because it was bullshit both ways. It's one of those ones. Matt
Yeah,
Hound Dog
no.
Lissy.
Who you
Oh,
ain't
oh.
nothing but a hound dog. You should see my feet right now. They're moving, twitching around.
Twitching?
I don't know. What does he do with his feet? Or is that Michael Jackson?
He's got magic legs.
Laurie might be the greatest basketball player to ever walk on this earth. It's true. He's pretty good. I like.
He's
Lauri
pretty
Markkanen.
good. He's pretty good. 38 points for Lauri Markkanen tonight. 2 of 10 from beyond the arc. He had 17 rebounds. Jesus, 38 and
He's
17.
insane, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
pretty
a
good.
one piece the Suns are missing, right?
0 assists.
Yeah, who you gonna pass it to?
Jordan
THT?
Clarkson at THT,
All right,
man.
so I didn't even look
That
at
fucking guy.
THT's numbers. I didn't think THT was really-
25 points, 9 of
Well, what
18
kind of
from the
shooting,
field,
though?
4 of 10 from beyond the arc, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. I mean, it was a THT night. So Keontae George is the guy who kind of microwaved us last time.
Yeah.
And it was THT tonight. That's just kind of the way it goes.
Yep, almost ended that way too. Whatever happens, this is the best Jazz game of this season for now. Of course it is, because we're the Suns and we let the Spurs look like fucking champions against us.
Yeah, have they won a game since?
No, they're on every TNT ESPN game, but they keep losing.
And they're down 20 in the third
Yes,
every
it's
time.
not even fun to watch.
No, I don't
feel-
watch it.
I see this a lot too. I feel like Eric Gordon never misses when he plays us. So yeah, as long as he's starting, for sure.
Yeah, so I noticed that in the subreddit stakeout when I was in there on Friday, how much they were just like, dude, Eric Gordon has been a Utah Jazz killer for a long, long time. And here he is doing it again. Because he did it in overtime. He had 8 points in overtime. Eric Gordon was the beneficiary of the small ball 5. They doubled on Kevin Durant every chance they could. He just whipped it around, and then boom, it was in Eric Gordon's hands, and he made him pay until it was 9 points because he made one of his 2 free throws.
Yeah, it's nice to have one of those guys on your team.
It is.
Yeah. And that's about it.
That's all.
That's it. That's all I got. Sorry, guys.
The Suns Jam Session subreddit stakeout.
In your notes, Matthew, that you want to talk about on this edition of the Suns Jam Session podcast.
Okogie, really nice plays tonight. Him and Little made huge plays tonight to keep this game alive and keep the Suns close. Okogie, I think, had a really good bounce back game, hit his first 3, but he made a turnover, and then as soon as he did that, he went back and broke up that alley-oop to mark it in.
That's
The way
right.
he
That was a good
controls
play.
his body in midair to do that shit, that's insanely hard. So huge game by him, I felt like. I think that's all I had, really. The only other play we didn't talk about. So
All right. Well, there you go. Time to hand out a little hardware.
Jam Star of the Game.
Jamsters, let us know in the chat who your jam star of the game is. I went first last time. Matthew, it's your turn to go first.
who do I give it to? I'm gonna give it to KD. Eric Gordon was close though. But yeah, let me give it to KD, even though I got so mad at him earlier about his turnovers.
I know you were really upset with him, and like,
see how mad I got?
yeah, and I think that next time you see him in person, he's going to remember this, and he's going to put you in a headlock, and it's going to smell fantastic.
Yeah.
So you got that going for you.
Who do
which
you
is nice.
got?
Yeah,
Who you got?
I got Kevin Durant as well.
Okay, cool.
You take a look at a lot of the Jamsters, and they're agreeing right up and down the board. David Ray, KD is once again my choice for Jamstar. He had 39 points, one more point than he had on Friday. El Sol gives it to KD. AJW gives it to KD. Suns Fever 83 gives it to KD. Metal Mike, KD. Jam, KD. John Doe, Nasty Nas, for giving the most fucks. John Tran, it is Kevin Durant. Gnarly Old Goat Dude, Easy KD. KD for Jacob. Vogel for adjusting from Ollie Woe. Francisco C. Did feel off that graphic. LOL.
I thought I had a Nazir Little graphic too, but I guess not. So my bad, guys.
You don't. Jack M, it's getting boring. Katie, no, it's not. I love giving it to Katie. EG runner up. Shauna Liz gives it to Katie. Lazy Squatch. I guess it's Kevin Durant.
So.
Just write down, Nathan Show, KD, CL Oracle, Kevin Wayne Durant, Lazy Sasquatch, Big Nurk, Stephanie Jackson, my season MVP, Kevin fucking Durant. Amen to that. So I'll tell you this: Utah Jazz fans are going to have nightmares about Kevin Durant until they're eating Thanksgiving turkey on Thursday because he fucked him up this weekend, man. Between both games, he scored a total of 77 points in 2 games against them. They're gonna remember him. They're gonna remember him. Next up for the Phoenix Suns, Tuesday, 7 p.m. We are playing an in-season tournament game against the Portland Trailblazers. Matthew, what are you looking for in this game, huh?
Oh, I wonder.
Any storylines that we should be focusing in on?
Somebody's returning.
Okay,
that doesn't give a fuck. And he's not going to give a fuck.
Well, Ish Wainwright's hurt, though, man.
So, no, Ish will make a return somehow and just destroy the Suns like he always does. No, you know who it is, guys, right? I don't know why I'm doing that. Why am I doing that?
Watch.
Yes. DeAndre Ayton is coming back on Tuesday. It's going to be the first game coming back that actually counts. Did come back and play a preseason game here. Did not dress for that game. But DeAndre Ayton, who is currently averaging 12.3 points per game and 11.5 rebounds per game, 10.6 field goal attempts per game, and 2 turnovers per game. 1 DeAndre Ayton returns, Matthew.
Yeah, and I think Nurk has a better defensive rating than him too out of centers. I'm pretty positive.
I wouldn't.
I was trying to look that up again, but yeah, he does. It's just nice. I've already forgot about DA. Usually, like when these guys leave the Suns, I like to kind of box score watch to see how good they're doing. But I'm just like, I'm done. I'm so glad it's over with. I hope he plays. I hope we destroy him. It's all his fault. This fucking happened. All this shit. I don't know what happened. We have an awesome team.
We're 7-6. It's his fault. Damn it.
Yeah.
No, obviously that's a big storyline coming in. The things that I do see on Twitter because a lot of Suns fans still pay attention to what is going on with DeAndre Ayton. And there's just a lot of lackadaisical play that occurs. In fact, we might want to reach out to our buddy over at the Podland Trailcasters and see if he wants to join us for the post-game pod on that one because it's going to be an interesting affair come Tuesday. The Portland Trailblazers, they're 3-9. They're the second to worst team in the Western Conference. Their injury report, Malcolm Brogdon's out. Scoot Henderson's out. Anthony Simons is out. Ish Wainwright's out. Robert Williams is out. So this is not only a team that has a lot of turnover, but they're very depleted. You take a look at, who's leading them in scoring thus far this season. It's Jeremy Grant, which makes sense. You have Shaedon Sharpe, who's been playing well. You have, let's see, I'm trying to see Matisse Thybulle. Where's he at? Toumani Camara. Toumani Camara's played in all their games. He's averaging 5.6 points per game, and he is a 25% shooter from beyond the arc. So we will see some Toumani Camara in this, and I can't wait to see the tweets where everyone's like, we should have kept Toumani after he makes 1-3.
Yeah, it's funny like how those guys leave and we're like, oh, the potential, right? It was always the potential. The potential, we let it go. I mean, Aiden had playoff experience, finals experience. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
So it's nice that they're on one team. Toumani's probably going to be a better player in the end of the DA. So
Suns win, Suns lose, Matthew.
Oh, Suns win. Thank God we're playing them and then the Warriors right after, which they're going through injuries and Draymond yeah, he's not playing that game.
He's not playing that game either. So
Thank
yeah,
God.
and then after that we play the Memphis Grizzlies. So we have a little opportunity here to start a run. We've won 3 consecutive games. We have an opportunity to go forth and win the 4th one on Tuesday against the Portland Trailblazers. So tune in, Jamsters, after that game, as we'll be going live as we always do. We do thank you for joining us wherever you're consuming this content. Thank you for supporting the podcast. And again, if you go to phoenixfits.net and use promo code SunsJam10, you can get 10% off your purchase there. So until Tuesday night, Jamsters, Suns win. It was all ball.
Yep. Go home, love your balls.